This game felt like a throwback because the story was really, we have Joel Embiid and you don't. He played 46 minutes and he was a plus 21. Both the offense and defense was elite when he was on the floor. It turns out he had 8 shots in the restricted area. For perspective, on the season, he's averaging 4.8 shots in that spot and really struggling based on his entire career, 62.9%. 34th percentile, but yesterday he went 6 of 8 from the restricted area. But also the effort was there not just in scoring. 115, he's denying Reed Shepherd at the rim, forcing that miss. It goes right to Jabari Smith Jr., and this is a situation where Embiid just did not have it in him to elevate over the course of the season. But yesterday was different. He had it in him, straight as can be. Forcing a pass and then him being in the right position deters Kevin Durant from driving, and he's picking up his dribble way far from the basket. Deep contested too. And then look at this effort on the defensive glass. You got a Thompson, a freak of nature athletically, in great position, but Embiid comes out of nowhere and says, "Give me that." In terms of his moves down low, he really turned back the clock. He was spinning with authority quickly, not allowing the defense to recover. He's at his best when he's decisive, and here he just catches the ball, looks at Oubre for an outlet 3, they take it away. Okay, now time to go to work. Şengün can't do nothing. He's trying to flop for a call, and shout out to the referees for not calling it. But also, this is something that's been there all year for him, and this is ridiculous shot making. 2 Rocket defenders draped over him contesting, and he knocks down the midi with ease. It turns out on NBA.com, if you filter players who have shot 100 mid-range jumpers, at least 100, he's 3rd in efficiency, 49.6%. Barely above Kevin Durant, as you can see, and just under Donovan Mitchell and Shea. Now he's going up against Clint Capella, but when I watch this full speed, I'm just like, this half spin back the other way is insanely quick. And now look, he's matched up against Tari Eason, and he just drives around him like he's a shooting guard. I don't know, man. His body's getting better and better. And I thought this was one of the most clutch shots of the game. 105-96. Houston was dominating the fourth quarter up until this point. Sixers needed something, and Embiid hits a 3 to cut it to 6 to give them hope that they could come back. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it kind of felt like Maxi was saving another gear for when it mattered most. Because most of the game, he was kind of just there. You didn't really feel his impact. It was really Joel Embiid and Kelly Oubre carrying. But you could tell this season, Joel, at the end of games, he just does not have his legs under him. He needs backup down the stretch. And I thought the Sixers did a good job in fourth quarter and overtime, not just force-feeding Embiid, because honestly, they had every right to do so, considering he carried them throughout the game. But just like Embiid, Tyrese Maxi in that fourth quarter was getting to the basket. They could not handle his speed. Craziest stat of the night is the Sixers shot 75% in the restricted area. The reason I say that's crazy is because this team has been the worst shooting team in that spot, 61% on the year. And it kind of cooks them because it turns out as a team they shoot 30.3 restricted area shots per game, 3rd most in the NBA. And now all night long, Tyrese Maxi was using this Embiid screen. So the sudden spin back the other way works to perfection. He's also way quicker than Jabari Smith Jr. And then a beautiful Euro step to finish. Maxi, before that Indiana game, was really struggling in the fourth quarter for a stretch. But his fourth quarter in Houston was pretty reminiscent of the beginning of the season. He was clutch as can be. 113, 111. Look at the screen from Embiid. That generates a warm-up type look for Tyrese Maxi. Last 5 minutes of the game, it felt like Tyrese said to himself, I'm not allowing the Sixers to lose this game. I got you, Embiid. I can tell you're feeling it in your legs. He just had another gear than everyone else on the court. I mean, look at Tyrese on this play. He just can't keep up. But it wasn't just Tyrese Maxi and Joel Embiid. Paul George, who was quiet all game, mostly because he was in foul trouble. Luckily, Joel Embiid somehow gets it to him in this situation. They're down by 5 points. When does he ever hit this clutch shot? I thought it was a brick, but it's nothing but net. And then to start off overtime, they go to the Tyrese Maxi and Embiid pick and roll. It goes nowhere, so Embiid goes right into a dribble handoff with Paul George. Amazing screen again. But then Paul George with one of the biggest shots of the night. Those 2 threes from him were very, very crucial. On top of that, he was playing elite defense down the stretch. He was locked in on a different level at the end of that game compared to the rest of the game. And then VJ Edgecombe just clutch rebounds. The Sixers get a stop. Oh, but we give up a rebound. Psych! VJ came up with it. That's a rebound that the Sixers don't typically get. Paul George feeling frisky after his 3-point make. This time he gets locked up. No worries. VJ on the glass. And that extends it to a 5-point lead. And as I was saying, Paul George with ridiculous defense. Sixers only up by 2 and he saves a layup. And then this felt like the dagger. No one picking up Kelly Oubre in transition. But it's still a contested layup at the rim and he has to finish with his weak hand. I've seen him miss that before, but in the guts of the game, he knocks it down. That's a crucial play. Last 3 games, Kelly Oubre has been balling out, averaging 21 points per game. The Sixers have a plus 15.6 net rating with him on the floor. Without him during these 3 games, it drops down to negative 33.6. Over the entire season, the Sixers have a positive net rating with Kelly Oubre on the floor. The reason I bring this up is because a lot of people who criticize Kelly Oubre always say the net rating is not good with Oubre out there. Right now, recently, he's playing well above his pay grade, so shout out to Kelly Oubre. Hopefully, he keeps it up. But yeah, the story of the game for me was the production you got from this starting lineup. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxi put up superstar numbers, but most importantly, Tyrese Maxi showed up in the clutch. Kelly Oubre was there all game long, and then Paul George and VJ, who were kind of quiet all game, showed up in the biggest moments in overtime. Also, Joel Embiid played 46 minutes. What in the world? He played more minutes than Tyrese Maxi. I'm gonna be real, I don't think Joel should play on Saturday because of that. But yeah, that was a great team victory for sure. And also, they battled through adversity because, you know, the refs were trying to screw them at the end of that game. That's all I got, though. Let me know your thoughts below.